On today's episode of Fix It Your Motherfucker Self, we got a 2002 Honda Accord. Yeah, this may look familiar to you. It ain't mine no more. We sold this about 2 weeks ago. But yeah, this motherfucker, the new owner, yeah, she did some things to it since she got it. She brought it back to you, boy, so she can do the work on it. So, I'll let y'all in a minute. Meanwhile, let's show y'all what all she's done to the girl since we sold it to her. Yeah, all right. Be back in a minute. I mean, she done got this thing slicker than a can of oil. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, she done put some rims on the girl. Got the tints done yesterday, she said. Yeah, she ain't playing with it. Hey, I'm just saying. Yeah, we're gonna fix this old problem that came about. I'll show y'all what it is in a minute. But yeah, just show what she looked like. She didn't have all this on when I bought her. So there she is. I'll let y'all in a minute. Well, customer said she went to go get the windows tinted. And came about, let me put the hood prop up real quick for y'all. Came about and the people at the tint shop said, yeah, there's oil. Now, of course, y'all know, changed out the oil O-ring on the distributor when I had it and did the valve cover gasket. But this problem didn't happen. So now we're gonna take care of this. The VTEC solenoid is right there, and it's leaking. And it's leaking all the way down on the transmission and down on the ground and all that good shit. So we're gonna change this thing. So, be back in a minute, y'all. All right, first off, what we're gonna do, take off these clips. And two in the front, two in the back. Then, let's see, we're gonna get us an old Phillips head and loosen this up right here. Loosen that old clamp right there. And then we're gonna get this tube off. Yep, we're gonna get that tube off, and the one on the bottom, you put the clamp right there, and then pull this tube up, and then this should release out, pull out. Then you can get this whole assembly off. So we're gonna get that. I'll be back in a minute. The next step, what we're gonna do is, since we're dealing with a bunch of sensors, and you see we got tube off, is we're gonna disconnect the negative battery because we don't want to accidentally short nothing. You know, safety. Yeah, don't want to cause more problems than we already got. You know what I'm talking about? So back in a minute, gonna disconnect the negative and call it a day. All right, so now we're just gonna disconnect these connectors here. Get those out the way. Push on the tab right there, and release that one. We're gonna get the one for the clip for the VTEC solenoid right here. If I can get in there and see it, it'll get it off that little clip. Well, might need my hands for this, but you take this one off, and there's a bracket right there that sits on, and then at the bottom one, that's the one that unplugs it. So we're gonna be back in a minute. Then you're gonna push this out and lift this up, this whole thing. And hopefully we don't have to take out the EGR, but if you do, unplug it there. Then there's a 13 millimeter there, and a 13 millimeter there. We're gonna try to knock this out without taking loose the thermostat housing. But these bolts on this damn thing, look, it's covered in oil. Let me see if I can get in here good. Might not can with the camera. But yeah, it's covered in oil, so that's our culprit right there. There's 3 bolts you gotta get to on this thing. And those 2 right there, and there's one that's hard as hell to get to. But we're gonna get after it. So, back in a minute. Also, that bolt right there is missing there. That holds the bracket. You can take that out. Then you're gonna unplug the oil pressure sensor. There's a green tab right there. Yeah, it's leaking right there too. So this whole thing would have had to be replaced anyway. Yep, because sometimes you can change out the gasket, but then when you get to all that oil and it's leaking that bad, you need to go ahead and change the whole thing. So Be back in a minute. Man, my granny used to tell me work smarter, not harder. So, with the top of the VTEC solenoid off, see those 3 holes up top? There's 10mm bolts right there. And this would look like right here. Since we gotta change that out anyway, because sometimes you can change out this gasket right here, but this thing is shot. So, we gonna get the whole thing. So we ain't gotta worry about this no more. Because when they get all that seeping like that, you eventually have to change out the whole thing anyway. So, and there's 1 bolt there, 1 bolt there, and I don't see if I can get to show y'all the other damn bolt. It's hidden off in here, and we may have to get that EGR valve out the way so we can get to that last bolt. So with that being said, we try and do our damnedest not to have to take out that coolant temperature sensor, so we don't have to get no fresh coolant and shit. So our best bet is probably take out this EGR valve, get us some room in here. So that way we can also clean it too while we're at it. So like I said, take out this tab right here and get those 2 13mm bolts. 1 right, let's see if I can get right there. The other one right there. So back in a minute, y'all. Stand corrected, that nut right there is 12. So, before y'all give y'all some misinformation, let me tell y'all what it was. So, I use it. Yep. So, I'm gonna get to the other one now and get that out. Be back in a minute, y'all. Well, we end up having to take this motherfucker out. So, I'm gonna show y'all what to do. 12mm right there, 12mm right there. Get that out. We already took the holes off, stashed it right there. So, yeah, be back in a minute. All right, show y'all the culprit that is the hardest one. These 2 right here, they're all right to get to. This motherfucker right here. But get you a 1/4" 10mm, and you might be all right. But you're gonna have to take out the thermostat housing to get to that last one. And I didn't have to take out the EGR, so yeah. The thermostat housing gives you enough room to get to that last bolt. So we're gonna holler at y'all in a minute. Well, we had to come get the part from one of my favorite places. Yeah, got the new solenoid. Let's check it on that here. Give y'all the part number in case y'all need it. There it is. So, open the curl on up. Okay. If I can get it out. There you go. Oh, shiny. Looking like white diamonds. You know what I'm talking about? So, we're going to get back to the house. And, well, get back to it. I'll try in a minute. Y'all see the old one. Got the new one in. And when you put the new one in, tighten those 3 bolts up. Make sure that you you can get it tight to where it stops, and then like a little bit more. That's it, because it's going into aluminum. So we don't want that to strip out. So let's get the rest of this bitch back together, put this thermostat housing back on, and yeah, holler at y'all in a minute. Now that we have put the hose back on and everything, we're gonna crack this bleeder valve right here. It's 12mm. Fill up with coolant till it starts to say, hey. Be back in a minute. Well, we had to take things back apart. Cause this little pipe that goes on the thermostat housing, the O-ring decided it's gonna split. So, yeah. I'm gonna get this, go to the Honda dealership, go get that taken care of. So we holler at y'all a little bit. Well, back at the house, we got the right O-ring on. Yeah, so that's what we needed. Got it back on. Now we're gonna put the hose back on, bleed this bitch out, and hopefully this time we ain't got no bullshit problem. So back in a minute, y'all. Like I said before we had a little O-ring problem. Loosen this with a 12 millimeter. That's the bleeder screw. Put fluid in, cool it in. Then when you see it come out up, close it off. That's it. Be back. Of course, you get Honda coolant. Old 50/50 type 2. So we're gonna have a chat in a minute. That the old girl rolling. Yeah. Humpty Dumpty is back together again. Got the new VTEC solenoid right there. Topped off with some new, brand new Honda coolant. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So check out, see what the temperature is on the motherfucking gauge. Let's go on inside. See the motherfucking temperature gauge is where it needs to be at. So, yeah. This thing doing pretty well good. And the heat in this motherfucker will burn you the hell out of here. So, yeah, we're gonna have a child in a minute. Well, this concludes this episode of Fix It Your Motherfucker Self on the 2002 Honda Accord. We're gonna holler at y'all next time around. Until then, y'all be careful out there.